Hey guys, this is FluteGirl2406 here, giving you another episode review. Every child across the world has written a letter to Santa at some point when they were younger, whether it was at home or by mail. There's been many films and stories where they showed the tradition of the child writing a letter to Santa. However, Letters to Santa is an episode that presents this from a different perspective, in which the postman is trying to deliver letters to Santa before the big day. So let's take a look at Letters to Santa for the second review of our countdown to Christmas. So what's the story? The story is Percy is trying to deliver the children's letters to Santa, but the heavy snow is causing some delays. Harold asks Percy if he needs some help, but Percy denies his assistance. The next day, however, Percy gets caught in a snowdrift, and Harold takes Percy's mail to Vicarstown, where Hero will carry on with the mail across the mainland. Percy is thankful that Harold was able to take his mail train for him, but when he finds out Harold has gone missing, he goes out to find him. Percy successfully finds Harold in a field on the mainland, who has run out of fuel. He then goes back to Sodor to bring Harold more fuel as part of a return favor. Percy and Harold return to Sodor on Christmas morning and pass by houses where children are opening the gifts they have asked in their letter to Santa. Okay, first thing I will say is that I find it funny that Percy still believes in Santa after all this time. But I can't blame him because he clearly doesn't want to upset the children. Whether he believes in Santa or is just playing along, he still wants to make them happy. He definitely has his original personality of determination to make others happy, which is one of the things what I like about Percy. This is especially shown at the beginning and at the end. He's just doing his job of delivering the mail, which makes both him and many others happy. Percy's motivation is really strong in this episode, and it becomes even stronger towards the end when he helps Harold by bringing his fuel. Now, I do know that Percy has had several Christmas episodes in recent seasons, but I think Christmas is where his kind and joyful personality shines the most. One of the big highlights of this episode is the continued rivalry between Percy and Harold. I think the last time we saw this was in A Bad Day for Harold, which aired in 2002. I'm extremely happy that they brought this rivalry back, as well as show how this began in the first place. This includes flashbacks from Percy and Harold, and boy was this shown very well. There was just so much nostalgia in this scene, and they even made a brief CGI remake of this using the original illustrations by Reginald Dolby. And I feel like it was necessary to show this because it reintroduces their rivalry, which we haven't seen in 14 years. I really hope they continue to present something like this again, because it not only shows that the writers have done their research on the books, but also the director and animators. Another good thing I like is the moral. The moral is basically helping others by returning favors. They present this in a clever way by quoting the idiom,
"One good turn deserves another."
Quoting idioms like this, and others such as water off a duck's back from Gone Fishing, teaches kids about different phrases and how it can be used in a conversation. Another good moral is helping those despite past situations. Percy and Harold have a rivalry, but when one of them gets stuck, it's always good to help out and return the favor. It's a good example and moral of setting past arguments aside and coming together to enjoy the season of giving. I also find it interesting that Hero is taking the mail to the mainland now. I kind of like this since it shows that Percy is not the only one who takes a mail train. I also like how Jeremy makes a brief cameo appearance and is also helping deliver the mail by air to the North Pole. I really like this sort of chain with the mail train. Now, is this the most flawless episode of the season? Well, not entirely, since there are some problems in this episode. One of the big problems is the position on Percy's mouth. I understand that his mouth is covered up by a snowplow, but that doesn't mean change the position of his mouth. It could also be that his snowplow is not rendered properly and looks too big. Still, it just looks a bit weird, creepy, and distracting. Also, even though Hero takes a mail train to the mainland, Percy is still struggling with the mail train on Sodor because he's taking it all by himself. So why isn't there more than one engine helping Percy? I understand that Christmas is an extremely busy time on Sodor with people going on a holiday, but I still think that Percy should at least have some assistance besides Harold. Now, despite this, the moral still really stands out. It's basically just returning the favor to those who have helped you. In this case, Harold helps Percy deliver his mail when Percy got stuck, and Percy returns the favor by bringing Harold his fuel when he also got stuck. And despite the rivalry between these two, they still find a way to enjoy Christmas together. This episode is definitely a good one to watch before Christmas, because it presents a great moral during the season of joy and giving, which is what I believe Christmas is all about. On that note, thank you all for watching my review. Leave a comment on your thoughts on the episode and review in the comment section below, and hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more of these reviews. This is FluteGirl2406 signing out. Did anyone notice that Harold sounds like Kermit the Frog at one point?
Oh, thank you, Percy.
I don't know. Could be just me.